So the topic is goal setting and accountability. And if you're here, especially those of you who are here every single week, right? I know you, I know your names. You're like, and I already set goals for the new year. Why do I need accountability with setting goals? Because I already set them. The truth is, you're always setting goals. It doesn't just happen in December and then you're done. You are always, always setting goals, whether it's little tiny action steps, whether it's adjusting goals that you already have, you are always setting goals. So, what I want to talk about is how to stay accountable, continuing to set goals. What is going to hold you accountable to continuing to set goals throughout the year and not let the kind of funk of this time of year take hold? Because this is the time of year where your motivation is pretty much gone. It's cold. You're sick of it being dark. Daylight savings hasn't happened yet. And you're just like, why is it always like, I don't want to do this anymore? So the first one is the obvious one, which is the change in the calendar. Let that be your accountability to setting and changing goals. Now, some of you probably already do this, right? It's a new month and you're going to set new goals, but make sure that you are scheduling time to do this, right? Make sure that it is in your calendar that you are going to check in with your goals. Don't just roll in from one month to the other. And that could have been easy to do in January, partially because January felt like 8 million years long, and partially because the change was smack dab in the middle of the week. So what I want to remind you with this tip or this accountability method is make the decision in advance. What day is going to be the new month for you? Maybe you truly are going to start the new month on the 1st. And then like that is when things change. But if you're like me, I really like things to start on a Monday. I'm very much a Monday start girl. So I am going to start my new month on a Monday, regardless of the date. So for example, back in January, I started February on January, it was the 29th, right? Yeah, that was the Monday. So that was the start of the new month for me. I'm looking at the calendar. And the decision I make on when I start is kind of based on how where the day of the week is, but then also what are my plans the weekend before? Because I want to make sure that I have a nice weekend to kind of prepare for the month. So looking at the calendar, I actually think I originally was going to start February on the 26th or March on the 26th of February. In fact, for work, that's all I have planned through. So now that I'm thinking about it, my work and personal month refresh might line up slightly differently because that weekend before, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, I have a lot going on. I have a lot going on that weekend. And so it's not enough time for me to completely reset my life. So I probably will continue my February goals through that week and start March on March 4th. Number 2, which by the way, these are not exclusive. It's not like you're picking one of these 5 things. It could be all 5 potentially. But utilizing a goal planner. If you're using a goal planner, it is so much easier to stay accountable to continuing to set your goals. Whatever goal planner you have likely has some sort of check-in, some sort of refresh, and some sort of setting up the next month. Especially when it's dated, it is so easy to be accountable to the next one. Now, if you are utilizing an undated goal planner, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. This isn't necessarily going to be an accountability tool for you, is what I mean there. It's going to be a tool for other reasons. You use a goal planner for way more than just accountability, but that is one main reason for it. And so by having an undated one doesn't quite motivate you as much. Whereas when you have a dated one, you're like, oh, it's time to set up the next page in my goal planner. Number 3 is to set goals with a friend. Do you have somebody in your life? I want you to think about if there is somebody that you could talk to about this, that you talk to on a regular basis. So you're not adding in another step, another thing to remember, somebody you already talked to that you could talk goals with. And maybe you already talk goals and you just need to amp it up a little bit, or maybe you don't and you need to be like, hey, let's talk about this. I promise you that the people in your life, at least one person in your life is probably more interested than you think they are. I have found that I won't talk about goals necessarily with friends that don't also consume my content in some way, if that makes sense. Like I don't want to go above and beyond, but I find that when I do talk to them about it, they're also interested in it. So think about it. See if you can think about setting goals with a friend. And then the other piece of this I mentioned before is Sure. In an ideal world, it's one friend that you're sharing all of your goals with. But there's also a scenario where you share different goals with different friends. So maybe you have a colleague, and that is the person you share work goals with. Maybe you have somebody else who is also planning a wedding or having a baby, and you can share those goals with them. Maybe you have somebody who also owns a business or has a side hustle, and you could share those goals with them. It's just my own personal examples of the people that I share goals with. Maybe you have somebody who's also on a health journey and you share those goals with them, but you don't have to share every goal, but you're talking about those individual goals. The next option is to go somewhere special. Try it. I get it. I get it. Getting out of the house is hard. Going to a different place is hard. But man, oh man, the accountability when I am in a different location is massive. So if you are struggling with accountability on the steps for setting the goals, go do it somewhere special. I did this a couple years ago with a friend where we actually rented a hotel room for 2 nights and set our goals for the new year together. And I absolutely loved that. In retrospect, setting my yearly goals in like a 24-hour period did not work for me. I need more time broken up in between that. But from a being somewhere else and not having the mental load of all the other stuff around you, right? Even just sitting at my desk, I'm like, oh, I could clean that. Oh, all the things that I could also be doing, and my brain is in a million places. Whereas if you're sitting somewhere else, you still might think of some of those things, but there's at least not the visual triggers and the visual clutter that comes with being in your own space. So even if it's just for an hour or two, go somewhere else and try and utilize that fresh space as accountability. And then the last one, which is just a personal favorite, but also this probably doesn't need to surprise you, is to utilize a goal workshop. Have somebody else hold you accountable by telling you to move on. This is especially valuable if you are somebody who gets all caught up in your thoughts and you take an activity that probably only needs an hour or two and make it take a day because you overthink and spend too much time. Especially if you're using a goal planner, it can be like you want to fill up every line. I couldn't think of like a verb there. Like you could expect yourself, I guess, to fill up every line. And so you overthink it and you sit there and you're like, well, I can't move on until I fill up every line. Enter goal workshop, where I want to make sure that you have ample time to answer the question, but then you move on and you move on to the next step.